gybe or strap to strap gybe? What style of gybe are you doing? Do we know? Do we know why? Do we know how to change from one to the other? Stick with me for the next few minutes and we'll find out. To start with then, I think I should explain where I am and what conditions are like, just so you know what I'm on and you can sort of tell. It's really windy. It's probably top 20 knots right now, gusting up to 30 something I'd imagine. I'm on a 90-litre freestyle wave and a 3.7 Vogue, which is one of the wave sails from RRD. It's pretty choppy out here and I'm really nicely powered up. It's actually really good fun conditions to be riding in. Next thing I should explain is what's the difference between a step gybe or a strap to strap gybe, and why might you want to do different ones. So the difference between the step or the strap style of gybe is basically the order that we do things. As I gybe, I need to change my feet and I need to flick the rig. Which way round that we do them is the difference. So, if I'm coming round a gybe and I step first, then I flick my rig, that's a step gybe. If I come round a gybe and I release the rig while my front foot is still in the original front foot strap, regardless of what happens after that, that's a strap to strap style of gybe. Even if you don't actually go into the strap, the fact that you're releasing the rig and your front foot is still in that front strap, we call it a strap to strap style. Pros and cons for both of them. Let's start with the step gybe. The pros for the step gybe are it's a really good one to practice in the light winds. It's the non-planing carve gybe that then moves into the planing carve gybe, in inverted commas, is classically a step gybe. It makes it much easier as you come through the gybe to maintain good counterbalance away from the rig. It means the foot change is nice and easy and out the way early. And it also means that when it comes to the rig flip, you've already got your feet in the correct position for the new side. Round the gybe, step, then flick the rig. And although you're joining me today on this kit, as I come to put this video together, you're going to see a series of clips now filmed in light winds and strong winds showing a bunch of step gybes. That key difference again is you step the rig first, then you flick the rig. Generally, that's the one I encourage people to do first because of the light wind practice. We can hammer away practicing our step gybes after step gybes in non-planing conditions on a nice big board, and it works really well. The other positive for the step gybe that I really like is as you're coming round a gybe, if you drop off the plane and you're going for a step gybe style, it's much easier to save that gybe because of the light wind practice, because of the counterbalance position, and because your feet are all ready to control that rig flip as it comes around. One of the key points to mention about both of these styles of gybes is the entrance is still the same. You can still do your preparation from your head to your hooves, starting upwind, taking your back foot out early, and then running through the H's check, which can be found in another video. I'll pop the link to that up in the top of the screen now. And it's not until you come to the opening the rig out midpoint of the gybe that you can then decide whether it's going to be a step, a strap, even a duck or a lay down, whatever style other ones you want to do. Now the pros for the strap to strap style jibe. Firstly, because your feet remain locked in the same position on the board, your front foot in the strap and your back foot on the carving rail, you don't upset the trim of the board quite so much as you may do with a step jibe. Still thinking along the lines of trim and how I keep the board flat or carving through the jibe in a strap to strap style. Because I'm locked on that board still with my front foot, my back foot is locked into its carving rail. What can happen quite nicely, particularly in the choppy waters, is you can stay in a good carving position through the chop. So one of the times I prefer to do a strap to strap style of jibe is in wavier, choppier conditions when I really don't want to be hanging around out of the foot strap for any length of time. Today, for example, out at sea that way, quite choppy. So I'm preferring to do a strap to strap style jibe out there. And then as I come back towards the beach on the starboard tack now where I get flatter water, I quite like going for a step jibe. The tough thing about the strap to strap style jibe is when you rotate the rig and catch the rig on your new side, you're effectively switch stance with one of your feet. Your front foot is still locked in the wrong foot strap as you catch the sail and try and power up, which can make things pretty awkward. Pretty tough to hold on to a switch stance sail, which is why generally I'll teach the strap to strap one later in someone's development and learning. Whoa. Watch out for some kite surfers. The exit for both of these jibes and the rig flip, all very similar. Still a nice bit of patience, allowing the rig to rotate around. Not scrambling onto the boom too early and cranking for power. You can still add in a little bit of the disco move midway through. Referencing back to an old video again, the disco jibe can be used in either of these jibes. And the other key thing for them both is if you want to plane out and get back on the power, you need to get your front hand back to the harness lines to re-engage that power on the exit. Entrance, exactly the same for any jibe. Right now it could be anyone. As I'm coming through, you know what, ditch the backhand, still in my front foot strap until very late, changing my feet. There's pros and cons to both of them. The better you get at one, the better you get at the other. I think that's quite a key thing to bear in mind. Don't just hammer away at one of them. Mix it up, do a little bit of both, because they will complement each other. And if, like a lot of windsurfers, you've hit that plateau where your jibes just aren't getting any better, I'm not improving, I've done the same jibe for however many years or however many sessions, try the other jibe. Doing something a little bit different may make the difference for the original one you were trying to do. The new one may not be perfect, it might in fact be scrappy and horrible, and you may not like it one little bit because you're so used to doing your original style. But mix them up and you'll feel some benefit. It will improve things along the way. I think the final message to leave you with today is make sure you're actually doing one of the two and try and make a conscious choice of doing one of the two. Feet first or rig first, they're both fine. They both have their pros and cons, but they're both fine. And they both can be done on all kit, in all conditions. However, things start to go wrong when you try to do some weird blend of the two, which usually involves a foot change and a rig flip at the same time. Split them up. I've done my rig flip, now I'll change my feet, strap to strap style. Or, I'll make my foot change now, I'm going to exit the jibe, now I'm going to do my rig flip. So that's a step, then a jibe. Mix them up and improve, but make a conscious choice of doing one or the other, rather than just whatever seems to happen along the way. Thanks for joining me as always. Thanks for clicking like and subscribe and leaving me a comment on the bottom of this. And I'll see you next time.